The caste census, which has been the caste survey, I beg your pardon, which has been released in the state of Bihar. It has a lot of political connotations, not only for the state of Bihar, but also the impact on the upcoming general elections. And that is the reason you keep hearing the caste-based survey demand as far as the Congress and other political opposition parties are concerned, specifically the India Alliance. Now, what Bihar has done, and that too after facing a lot of hurdles in various courts, it was the Supreme Court which has to clear this entire process, where the centre filed an affidavit saying that the caste, any kind of census is the responsibility of the government, but then later changed it and said that the government of Bihar can go ahead with the survey of caste. The whole idea, at least that's what Nitish Kumar government kept saying, that they need to know exactly the percentage of the population so that they can make their welfare schemes better in terms of who are they being aimed at. But is this an attempt by Nitish Kumar and larger the India Alliance to revive Mandal 2.0 in face of BJP's larger Hindutva umbrella? Is that how the election is going to play out? But let me first very quickly give you the numbers of what Bihar caste survey has in fact put up, and this has now become a big talking point. So as far as the numbers are concerned, 36% of the population is the EBC, that is the extreme backward classes. 27.1% are backward classes. So if you add both of these together, it goes to about 63%. 15% are unreserved, that is the other communities, and then the rest is constituted by the SC and the ST communities. Now, there has been a demand, and as the slogan that the opposition parties have been putting out, jiski jitni hissedari, uski utni bhagedari, and that's the big question, is can this turn the election on its head for the Bharatiya Janata Party, who boasts about Prime Minister Narendra Modi being from the OBC community, and the OBCs from 2014 to 2019, the percentage of vote in favor of the BJP has increased. They have in fact stuck behind the BJP. Can the opposition with this gambit make some dent as far as the OBC community is concerned, the vote bank is concerned? This is what in fact, while the Mahagathbandhan in Bihar is calling it or looking at it as a masterstroke to consolidate the numbers in their favor, to counter BJP's Hindutva politics, Prime Minister Narendra Modi now has hit out at the opposition and has put this report as an example of divisive politics. Let's first listen in to some reactions.
कुछ का जो कराया गया, तो ये पूरा का पूरा करके जो भी रिजल्ट आया है, आप उसके बाद सबकी आर्थिक स्थिति का एक परिवार का भी ले लिया गया, तो करके भी सब कुछ उसको भी कर रहा है, सबको जानकारी भी दे देगा और कुल मिला करके कल प्रेजेंट करवा देंगे एक जगह।
वो तब भी जात पात के नाम पर समाज को बांटते थे, आज भी वही पाप कर रहे हैं।
It does seem that the BJP would be worried about this because it's none other than the Prime Minister, in fact, who has reacted to this caste survey. Now, Rahul Gandhi from the Congress Party, Member of Parliament and a key face as far as the India Alliance is concerned, has also reacted on this. He has said on the website X that the caste census of Bihar has revealed that OBC plus SC plus ST are 84%. He then goes on to say out of 90 secretaries of the central government, only 3 belong to the OBC community who handle only 5% of India's budget. Therefore, it is important to know the caste statistics of India. The greater the population, the greater their rights. This is our pledge. Like I was telling you earlier, jiski jitni hissedari, uski utni bhagedari is going to be a slogan, ladies and gentlemen, that you are going to hear much more as we head into the election season. Let me very quickly, to try and break this down and understand the impact on India's electoral politics, I'm being joined by Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist, commentator, man who is very well versed with the data and numbers as far as how elections play out. We are also being joined by Aditi Fadnis, political editor, Business Standard. She understands and has seen and reported for such a long time on these issues, Mandal, Kamandal politics and how it plays out as far as our voters are concerned. Aditi ji, I would like to start with you. Is this an attempt that we can see very clearly of the opposition to try and revive Mandal 2.0, try and break the BJP's clamor of the larger Hindutva umbrella that they have been able to create?
Well, I have to say that the percentage of other backward classes who have been both voting for the BJP as well as the kind of the ticket distribution that has been done. If you look at the data, and I happened to revisit this last week, the data has been going up, actually zooming up. So it's not as if any party is unaware that other backward classes are a very important constituency in terms of realizing that caste exists. So to say that caste is divisive or it does not exist is frankly denying a reality. The second part of it is, of course, that this census, which I have no doubt will be seized upon for its data collection infirmities, has actually pointed the spotlight on an area which is a very sensitive area, which is that people who are from socially backward classes need affirmative action. And this is a demand that is coming not just from Bihar, it's coming from Marathas in Maharashtra, it's coming from other backward classes elsewhere in the country. So, I mean, it's like throwing a cracker in a crowd.
Amitabh, you've been doing a lot of number crunching on the impact of this kind of a narrative which is going on. Just take an example of Bihar at this moment. There are voices which are saying that the 10% quota for the economically backward that the Prime Minister had implemented in Bihar, if you now juxtapose that for the 15% population which is unreserved, that 10% of quota comes out to be about 66-67% in terms of percentage for that community. But for the OBCs and the EBCs, which together now are about 63%, they are only getting 27% quota. So they would also be asking some sort of jump or some sort of proportionality in the reservation with this now. Is it just opening Pandora's box?
Yeah, it is sort of opening a Pandora's box, because if you see that if you demand a jiski jitni sankhya bhari uski utni hissedari, in this what has happened, these numbers are already known. It is just that the 17% minorities plus 2% other religious groups have moved to OBCs and EBCs. Otherwise, these numbers broadly remain the same, correct? So, it also indicates that the opposition or the INDIA bloc, if it is asking for a reservation for minorities also, then it could lead to a polarization of the Hindu versus Muslims, which could play into the BJP's hands. That's number one. Number two, there is already a wedge which the BJP has been able to create between the dominant OBCs or the upper OBCs, let's say, or the BCs here, and the EBCs. If you look at Bihar's cabinet itself, 7 out of 31 ministers are Yadavs, which is 1.5 times their population as per this number.
Yes.
4 ministers are Kurmis and Koiris, which is double the number as per this census.
Right.
So it could open a Pandora's box, and that is the perfect word which you have used. And what has also happened is that BJP has given a tadka of class politics to caste-based politics.
Right.
So this Labharti politics, when the voter, an OBC voter, goes to the voting booth, is he voting as an OBC or a poor or a lower socioeconomic class who is benefited from this scheme?
But Amitabh, very quickly, and then I'll go to Aditi for her final comments on this. What you are saying exactly, the BJP has injected the Hindutva politics, but very smartly has also played the Labharti politics, which has broken away the caste especially in places like Uttar Pradesh, the very, cemented caste equations have been broken with the Labharti politics. But the fact remains, for the backward classes as well, when they see this kind of a pitch that you may possibly get more if your numbers are determined, if government possibly schemes can reach you in a much targeted way, is that somewhere taking away from, if I'm not mistaken, about a 44% of the OBCs which have been standing behind the Prime Minister?
No, see, one could look at it the other way as well. 900 communities of the OBCs have zero representation in government jobs and admissions. And only 25% of the OBCs have cornered 97% of the jobs and admissions as per the Rohini Commission report. So, the lower OBC or the EBC could as well argue then when I am not getting benefit out of the 27% reservation which is current, what would I do with this 50% reservation? And the BJP could drive home the narrative that here also in the increase in reservation, the upper or the dominant OBCs will benefit and not the lower OBCs.
Yeah,
so this is a game of narratives essentially.
The creamy layer part of the whole equation will come into the conversation. But Aditi, like Amitabh is saying, the game is about narrative. And when Rahul Gandhi challenges the Prime Minister, says in 2011, we had ordered a caste census and the government should release the data. If the BJP backtrack from it, does not do it, and the clamor increases, maybe at this moment, does that have an impact on the very voter which is solidly standing behind Prime Minister Modi? Because they have seen, tried and tested Modi giving them benefits in comparison to the governments, before him.
It's hard to say how in Hindi there's a saying, "Oot kis karwat baithega." It's hard to see which way the pendulum will swing. But I think the more important thing is that nobody likes anything to be taken away from them. So if you are going to say that jobs are 100%, out of that higher caste OBCs, the upper jatis of the OBCs have to give away some part of their reservation to lower jatis of OBCs, well, the upper jatis are not going to like it. And not only that, there is a degree of opportunity hoarding. So this is the term sociologists use. So I think the stage is set now for a greater caste and identity awareness, not less caste and identity awareness. And the fact that class might supplant caste, I don't think is going to happen anytime soon.
It's very interesting because we've seen the example of Bihar. Where the BJP, though there were voices of opposition initially, but they had to in fact come on board. Nobody, like the women reservation bill, could go very, very openly opposing this whole exercise. And similarly, it will be difficult to come and speak in a blanket manner against this whole exercise. How it plays out, that, ladies and gentlemen, as Amitabh and Aditi both were saying, it will be a battle of narratives, and who can convincingly put forward their narrative. That is going to be the game as far as 2024 is concerned. Amitabh, you wanted to make a point? I'm completely out of time. 30 seconds.
Just one line.
Yeah.
Just one line. Reservation, if given to everybody, loses its sheen. If reservation is given to everybody, it is no longer reservation.
All right, let's see how that plays out, because this will also, in a way, is an attempt to try and galvanize a larger chunk of the vote, because this will polarize. This will polarize beyond caste, beyond religion, I beg your pardon. So this is going to be at least an attempt to try and polarize, where a larger section comes to you and a smaller section possibly gets angry. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But thank you so much to both of you for joining us at this moment.